Well, nearly 1 million people are living with multiple sclerosis in America. It is a devastating disease that can lead to blindness, even paralysis. And thousands of people take part in Walk MS as a show of support, and that is happening here in the Bay Area throughout the next couple of months. Here to tell us all about it is Joanna Soffa, one of the participants. Welcome to Bay Area Focus.
Thanks so much for having me.
And you have also been diagnosed with MS yourself.
I have.
Tell us about how that came to be, how your diagnosis came to be.
Well, I was experiencing symptoms, and as you may know, multiple sclerosis is a disease that shows up very uniquely in individuals. And my symptoms in particular were cognitive. I was having balance problems, and it does take some time to narrow down what the diagnosis is. But ultimately, I had some diagnostic procedures, and it was confirmed that I have relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis.
And looking at you, you wouldn't be able to tell. And that is something that, again, you say varies when it comes to the symptoms and the severity between the patients so very much. How do you think that, I guess, maybe leads to misconceptions about MS?
I think it does, and there are a lot of folks that are living with silent symptoms. It does affect the central nervous system, and there are lesions. Multiple sclerosis means many scars, and it relates to scars that appear in the brain and down the spinal cord. And so some of the symptoms may not be obvious, but you will see it is often disabling, and it is a progressive disease. But luckily, there's a lot of research being done, especially the National MS Society funds a lot of research, cutting-edge research. So there are solutions and hopefully on the horizon, and a lot of data being generated, including that prevalence data you cited at the beginning, which is 1 million people are living with MS in the United States today.
It is pretty stunning. Is this genetic or environmental as far as acquiring it?
They're still trying to figure out what the etiology is of the disease. Some believe it's an autoimmune reaction. Some believe there are environmental factors. There could be a genetic component. So unfortunately, the cause of the disease remains somewhat of a mystery. But because it affects so many people, luckily people are taking a look at what the mechanism is of the disease.
So when you were diagnosed, did you know others who had MS that you could go to and talk about this with?
I did. I did know people who had been diagnosed, but also there is a lot of information out there, and the National Multiple Sclerosis Society is a great source of information about the disease, as well as offering programs and services to help people live their best lives with MS.
Now, tell us about the atmosphere of these walks, because obviously that would be, an event where you'd have a lot of people with that in common that could, share that. What does that mean to you as a patient to be able to do that?
Oh, I love Walk MS. It is a great family event. As you mentioned, there are 5 walks in the Bay Area, 13 across Northern California, and it is a great environment, fun for the whole family. I think it's a very positive event. You do see people affected by the disease and who are disabled, but walking is such a fundamental aspect of being an independent person, and that's why, for me, Walk MS is so important, because it really gets to the fundamentals of mobility and why we need better and more research to get to hopefully a cure. So, but it's a very positive event. It's really a lot of fun, and usually the weather is fantastic. It's a 1 to 3 mile walk.
Okay, so we're not talking a half marathon here.
No, definitely not. So you can stroll, you can power walk, whatever you want to do, but it's really a great event, and as I said, open to everyone. It's free to register, and if you fundraise for $100, you get a free MS t-shirt.
Okay, very good to continue spreading the word about this. I really appreciate you being here, Joanna Soffa. And there are, again, 5 cities that are going to be hosting some of these walks coming up in the Bay Area: Lake Merritt in Oakland on April 27th, San Francisco, Walnut Creek, the Tri-Valley on Sunday, April 28th, and in Silicon Valley on May 4th. You can sign up and register at walkms.org. That is it for this episode of Bay Area Focus. Be sure to check out our Facebook page and our website, kpix.com/Bay Area Focus.